Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of One Football Debates, where we tackle the biggest questions in football. Today's question is Thomas Tuchel the man to bring back the glory days to Arsenal? To tackle those questions, we've got the one, the only Statman Dave and the fan favourite, Mr. Steve Howson. How are you doing today, guys?
All right, my mate, how are you?
I'm good. So we're going to jump straight in, and I think last week we started with Statman Dave, so today we're going to start with Steve Howson. You've got 30 seconds to pitch your answer.
The simple fact of the matter is that Thomas Tuchel is not the right man to lead Arsenal, because I think that at the moment Arsenal like to play a little bit of a possession-based game. Thomas Tuchel likes to play the possession-based game, and Arsenal need to rocket up the arse like nobody else has ever seen. And when Howson Wenger leaves, they're going to need a massive overhaul in transition. Someone who's just sort of keeping it in a similar sort of style of possession-based football isn't going to do it. They need a complete 180 change of direction, and that's the only thing that's going to help them.
There we go. Statman, you're up next. Let's go.
Thomas Tuchel is a disciple of the great Pep Guardiola. Possession de fuego is his style of football, which is the complete opposite of what Arsene Wenger sort of gets his players to do at Arsenal. So for me, Tuchel will come in. He will evolve this Arsenal team so far. The 3-4-3 that they copied off Chelsea looks pretty rubbish. You see Tuchel play that either Mainz or Borussia Dortmund. Unbelievable football. And that is why Thomas Tuchel is going to bring back the glory to Arsenal. Maybe we're not talking a Premier League title, but maybe let's start winning some trophies again and go far in maybe the Champions League, because every single season, it's the last 16 they get to. Tuchel's going to get further than that with the current squad. Okay, that's 30 seconds. Great
opening statements, lads. I'm going to let Howson, you can reply to what Dave said and then vice versa.
For starters then, Dave, you said that Tuchel's style is completely opposite of Arsene Wenger's. It's not. Now, Arsene Wenger plays a slight more direct version of it, and obviously they don't hold possession in the same way that Pep Guardiola's sides do. But I think what him and Tuchel offer is very, very similar stuff. It's on the floor, it's pretty football, and it's not going to be the sort of thing that takes Arsenal to another direction. Arsenal need to get ruthless. And you also mentioned Arsenal need to get back to winning trophies. They've won a couple of FA Cups in recent years. They could still win the Europa League this year. They are in the trophies at the moment, but what has slipped is the league form. And you just said, even if it doesn't mean winning leagues, well, that's not glory. Glory is winning titles, and a club like Arsenal should be winning titles. That's why, for me, Tuchel is not that guy.
Nice. And your reply to that, Statman?
I think it's quite interesting. You talk of glory, you talk of that sort of nature. In terms of Arsenal, it's all about being competitive, and at the moment they aren't. The big thing, you mentioned the possession style, you mentioned when they have the ball. The biggest thing for Arsenal, the problem, is when they don't have the ball. Thomas Tuchel is famed for his pressing systems and pressing styles and an ability to win the ball high up the pitch, both at Mainz in the Bundesliga and Borussia Dortmund. They were unbelievable at quick transitions, nicking it high and then breaking for Aubameyang, Marco Reus, and of course Henrik Mkhitaryan. And I think it's not about evolving Arsenal, it's about taking them to the next level, what you mentioned before, and that is the pressing game. That's the ability to win it high. All the good teams in European football can do that. And Thomas Tuchel is an advocate of that. Again, the zonal system that he plays allows them to press, and that is exactly what Arsenal need. You take, though, a great example of Thomas Tuchel's probably best season as a manager, the 2015-16 season at Borussia Dortmund. The front three that season were unbelievable. Marco Reus, Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan. At Arsenal, of course, Thomas Tuchel already has two of those players, Aubameyang and Henrik Mkhitaryan. That season, Aubameyang scored 39 goals, grabbed 12 assists. And the guy that was supplying those goals, of course, was Mkhitaryan. 32 assists in all competitions for Borussia Dortmund. And that was all about the system that Thomas Tuchel had built. So flexible with that front three. It could either look like a front three, it could look like one attacking midfielder behind two strikers, could look like two playmakers behind a striker. And that's exactly what Arsenal need. They need to develop their attacking game, because at the moment, it's just a bit of, let's just try, let's just move the ball around, let's see what happens. Whereas Thomas Tuchel has a clear plan, and it all comes from that front three that Arsenal pretty much have.
Okay,
you can throw Lacazette in them.
So, Howson, what's your reply to that? Because I know you did mention about glory days, and I don't think Dave really went into how the glory days will be coming back. So what's your reply to what you just said?
He's talking about carrying on where Arsenal currently are from at the moment, and where they are from at the moment is, yes, they've got some wonderful attacking talent. Ozil walks into a lot of teams in world football, the same for Aubameyang and the same for Mkhitaryan, whereas I thought Manchester United's early season form was heavily reliant on Mkhitaryan, and it's no coincidence that we've stuttered now since he's gone. So I think that if you're talking about bringing the glory days, you need a complete overhaul. And he says, yes, he had some success with a couple of those players at Dortmund, but that was in the Bundesliga, and he also had the likes of Kagawa and Weigl running around them. This isn't the same team. You've got different players. You might have two of the 11, but that's all you've got. You've got 22% of a team, not a full team there. And Dortmund was a very complete side. Arsenal are nowhere near a complete side. And someone coming in thinking that they can recreate what they did at Dortmund because they've got a couple of those players isn't going to be good enough. You need someone like Diego Simeone that's going to come in, hate every single person in that dressing room, bring in some absolute winners, some bottle, some throttle, and someone in the middle of the park that's going to dominate games. Because this is English football that we're talking about, and you need to be hard, not soft.
Yeah, I was going to come in and ask who you think should be the person instead of Tuchel, but you've already mentioned Simeone. So, Statman, what's your reply to Simeone versus Tuchel?
Simeone's never going to leave Atletico Madrid. It's not going to happen. He's been there for so long. He's building a dynasty there. Saul just signed a 9-year deal at Atletico Madrid. Their central midfielder that's rated as one of the best in the world. He's not signing that deal without knowing Diego Simeone's going to be there for a long, long time. So that is why would Simeone want to come to a club that's got no heart? He's got a club right now that has the players, that gives them the heart, gives them that aggression, gives them that ability. Going back to what Howson was talking about, he's only done it in the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga's been outperforming the Premier League in recent years in the Champions League. The last 5 seasons.
Been outperforming the Premier League.
But then you're saying the same with Manchester City. Manchester City haven't been outperforming Bayern Munich. They're the 2 best teams in the Premier League right now. Then you talk about the style and what Tuchel can bring, and Tuchel's only got 2 of those players in there. But boy, is he going to attract some players to Arsenal from Borussia Dortmund. The likes of Julian Weigl, who could completely change this Arsenal team. Arsenal lack that deep line player that can unlock a team. Since Santi Cazorla got that terrible sort of injury, then the sort of relapse of that over and over again. Someone like Julian Weigl, who in fact played his best football under Thomas Tuchel in central midfield, completed more passes that season than any other Bundesliga midfielder, is so good at applying that system. You make one signing, you sign Julian Weigl and you put him into Arsenal, you've got the Thomas Tuchel model already. Deep, controlling the tempo deep in midfield, and then looking for the fullbacks to get high, pull it back.
So on that point, guys, if you can get your closing 30-second statement as to why you should win this debate. Statman Dave, I'm going to go with you next. So 3, 2, 1, let's go.
First of all, Arsenal aren't going to attract someone like Diego Simeone. He's going to be at Atletico Madrid for the next 10 seasons. And why would he want to move to a club that has no bite? We've seen Manchester United and how they've tried to go between styles. Mourinho, Louis van Gaal. Completely flipping your philosophy is stupid. Thomas Tuchel will be the evolution of Arsenal's 3-4-3 in terms of Mkhitaryan, in terms of Aubameyang. He's worked with them before, and of course signing Julian Weigl, the best young central midfielder in world football, is everything you need for Arsenal to be back to that competitive winning ways and back to competing for that Premier League title as well as Champions League glory.
And that's it. I'm going to have to cut in. I'm going to be harsh with it today. Howson, you've got 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Right, Tuchel is Pep Guardiola light, and Pep Guardiola needed nearly £1 billion to take a team that's recently won the league into winning the league that he's got now. So Thomas Tuchel's got no chance of that happening at Arsenal. They're going to give him a mint euro and a voucher for 5 quid.
You don't know anything about him, so you pretend he's Guardiola.
It's not going to happen. What he needs to do, or what Arsenal need to do, is get someone who's an absolute winner in there, and it's not Tuchel.
There we go. Even though I think that Statman Dave snuck in there, which is a little bit sneaky, but yeah, you didn't even need the full 30 seconds. Let me know in the comment section if you think our winner is Statman Dave or Steve Howson. Obviously, you can vote in the corner of this video. Thanks again for joining us, guys. We've got a link to their YouTube channel, so make sure you go and subscribe and check them out. And no doubt they'll be in the comment section as well. And we'll be back next week with another top quality question, the biggest football stories here on One Football. Thanks again, lads.